if you're honestly taking up a study of non-duality, which is really inquiry into yourself, maybe listening to tips on how to do that. If you're honestly searching in yourself and starting to wake up, you will notice lots of paradox. You'll just start, your mind will start opening to the way that things don't fit together always in a perfectly logical way. And this is because the more you get in touch with who you are, the more you'll be able to start seeing your mind operating as the tool that it is. And it's a tool that can simulate reality, that can interpret reality, but doesn't give a clear 100% definition of it at any time. In fact, the definitions are the things that are the problem. Like if you're just sitting in a meadow and you're looking out and you're just enjoying the meadow and the sun, maybe there's a little creek running by and a deer walks slowly by, and you're just sitting there and you're just enjoying it without interpreting it in any way, then you're using your mind in a particular way. And when you're using that part of your mind, it has a much more direct line to reality the way that it is. But if you're sitting there in the meadow and you're going, man, they didn't do a very good job with the green on that grass, or man, that sunset needs a little bit more purple. Or if you're sitting there in the meadow going, geez, I really wish I could get out of this meadow. This is horrible being stuck in this meadow. Or whatever sort of things language can send through your brain, then you're just seeing fragments, really, of the meadow. Because that part of your brain can only just see the little pieces, and it puts labels and stories and emotions and all sorts of things onto the pieces. The vast, full process of your brain does a lot better job of just seeing reality the way it is. But one way or the other, it's still kind of an interpretation. That's why non-duality is always telling us that what really matters is who is seeing this. Knowing who you are, accessing yourself completely is so important. Angelo from the Simply Always Awake channel, I love to watch other channels as well and see how people are describing things. It gives me ideas of better ways to describe it. In his book, Awake, It's Your Turn, says that taking up an investigation into your true nature will lead you directly into a world of paradox. And this is because the more you get in touch with your mind and how it works, the more you see that pieces don't always fit together. And that's why Zen stories are so good, because they always end at that moment of paradox where suddenly things just don't make sense. Like, for instance, here's a little story of Mullah Nasruddin. He's also the master of paradox. And so Mullah goes to his doctor. He's really old. And the doctor says, Mullah, you're not looking very good. I think it's kind of near the end. You need to kind of start planning. Have you written your will? And Mullah looks at him and says, I'm a very, very wealthy man. And I have written in my will that the doctor that saves my life gets everything. But then he's not dead, right? So that just kind of goes to show how, this interpreting part of our mind just is not the thing that's bringing us the full picture of life. So the more you start seeing paradox, the more you're going to start realizing, oh, there is more to life. There's more to me than just my thoughts. Because who is it who notices that paradox?